Green living is the life for me. I just love sustainability. Hi, I'm Rick Gardner and welcome to my blog, Green Living is the Life for Me. Today we're at the community garden here in Apex, North Carolina. It is the Simple Gifts Community Garden, and I'm here with Sandra Webb, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the features and some of the successes and challenges that she's had here in this community garden. Morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Rick.
So, Sandra, before we get started, I'd like to find out from you, what is your definition of sustainability?
Sustainability for me is about living in concert with the earth and taking care of it, being a good shepherd of the earth, not harming it in any way, but taking advantage of the gifts that God gives us by growing food.
So can you tell me a little bit about the Simple Gifts Community Garden, how it got started, and maybe some of the things that you do here?
Sure. Simple Gifts Community Garden started as an outgrowth from a missions group at Apex United Methodist Church. There were a group of us that were interested in social justice issues, environmental issues, and we were all interested in gardening. So a little over 5 years ago, we started tossing around the idea of a community garden, and Miss Jean Hack, who lives on this property and owns this land, graciously offered to let us develop a community garden here. So we had a kickoff in April of 2009. Lots of people showed up, lots of the youth from church to help pound in stakes for the deer fence, and the garden just grew from there.
So how does the garden work? How do you get volunteers, and how do the volunteers contribute, and what kind of challenges have you had?
Well, the garden is open to anybody at all. While it's sponsored primarily with financial resources from Apex United Methodist, it's open to anybody who has an interest in being part of the community. So we have members from other churches, members who don't go to church anywhere, people from other towns. Anybody that wants to be part of this group is more than welcome to join us. It costs $10 a year for a family to join, and we do ask that people contribute at least a couple of hours a month to work in the garden. We would prefer they contribute more than that if they're able to, but we know that people have lots of other things going on in their lives. One of the challenges that we have, though, is that we doubled the space that we originally had to garden in, and sometimes it's difficult to have enough people here, especially in the middle of the summer, to help sustain, because even when people are going on vacation, the weeds are still growing, and we still need to have people here to work. So we continue to try to stretch our arms out a little wider and encourage more people to come and join the garden and be part of this group.
I noticed that you have a kids area, and you also have kids tools in the shed. So are the children involved as well?
Absolutely. We love having children here. That's actually one of my favorite things. It's such a cool thing to see kids in particular for the first time realize that this is where food comes from, that it doesn't just come from a grocery store, but that they can be part of growing food. And I think that children, especially if they're involved in growing food, they're more willing to try different types of things that they might not try otherwise. But when they've had a hand in it, they have some ownership for it. And I think it's a great way to introduce your kids to different kinds of food.
Sandra, do you have any recommendations for resources or websites or books or anything like that?
One of the things that I've really found useful is the website that Debbie Roos, who's an extension agent in Chatham County, has. I believe it's called GrowingSmallFarms.com or .org. I'm not sure. You can Google it to find it. She has a lot of information, though, about crops that grow well in this area, sustainability in general, varieties of vegetables that are especially suited for this area. It's a great resource to use.
Well, thank you so much for being with me on this cold day, and I know it's great that you're involved with the community garden, and you and all the rest of the volunteers.
Thank